Action!
Okay, well, then I think, okay, really quickly, before we move on to the good stuff, can we all agree we have nothing to say about Ace Attorney Investigations 1 or 2?
Yes.
Can I say one thing?
You can go, please, go ahead. Oh, no, don't say, I don't want to hear about your damn extraterritorial rights.
Diplomatic immunity!
Is that what you were going to say, Roger?
Objection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 50 times, like 50 fucking times. Yeah.
Extraterritorial
Turnabout
rights.
Ablaze is the only thing I remember about the first investigations, and it's horrible.
Yeah.
And I hate it, and it's not funny, and it's not good.
It's so sad because, like, the pitch for
Yeah.
an Edgeworth game is so solid.
Yeah.
And for what it's worth, like, I even think, like, the gameplay, the mechanics,
music is
I think
great.
everything is there. Oh, we can say that.
Oh, music's
the
so
music
good.
is I love the pursuit theme in the
Yeah.
first Ace Attorney Investigations.
Bump, bump, bump.
Yeah.
Bump, bump, bump.
It's
Yeah,
so good.
They're the skeleton of those games held so much promise.
Yes.
Like you said, the way
I
they
really need to finish the second one. I know that people
Yeah.
are gonna be. If you're listening and you made it this far, you're probably like, dude, the second one is good.
Everyone says that.
Everyone says
that,
it,
yeah.
and someday I will, because I played the first 2 cases as well.
Let's
It's the only thing left unturned for me after Great Ace Attorney.
I was
Me
gonna
too.
say, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you guys will do this, if you're interested in doing this too. I think I'm gonna make a point to play the second one before July 27th.
Oh wow.
Let's immortalize it. Let's put that down. We have to do it.
I'm
No
gonna
takebacks.
I'm gonna try and squeeze it in before Great Ace Attorney because I know it's really highly regarded and I love the Great Ace Attorney game, so I want to finish on a really strong note. With if by some chance I happen to hate Ace Attorney Investigations 2, I don't
Yeah.
want that to be the last thing that I
That's a really good point.
Right.
Yeah.
True. The last thing I'll say about investigations is that I know there are people out there that think the first game is good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree, and I would say that it has some of the worst, literally the worst game like cases, I suppose, cases
Yeah.
that are like in any Ace Attorney game. Like I'm remembering the one on the airplane is horrible.
Right.
Yeah.
Forgot about that one.
The one, there's like a couple. Like the opening one is fine. The one with them back in time is kind of a little interesting until it's still bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ending's bad, but if you like Francisca, you'll enjoy that case.
Right. No, but I just can't help but think about on your left.
Yeah.
And then Edgeworth is like, and then that's why Kay Faraday saved me, and I'll never forget her. And I'm like, Francisca could have done that.
Yeah.
In fact, you could have done the whole game without Kay Faraday. Bring in Emma, bring
Yeah.
in Francisca a little bit
Yeah.
more, and now you got a really solid game. Which, by the way, I'm not saying don't introduce new characters. I am, however, saying I did not care at all for Kay Faraday.
I did not care. Like, it was such a relief to like Athena,
Yeah.
because I thought maybe I'm just closed-minded. Maybe I don't like any of the new characters
sure.
or anything, but I loved Athena, just don't like Kay.
Totally.
Kay did not do it for me.
As far as 2 is, I've only played 2 cases. The first one is fine. Again, it's fine in the same sense that it's like it's inoffensive. I will never play it again probably unless, but like, you know, you have the killer, which is funny. He has ice cream.
Right, yeah.
That's
I
funny.
remember you had a pretty bad time with Case 2.
I did not enjoy the first case.
Oh, the first case. Gotcha.
Oh, case 1 with the killer, right? With the
Yeah.
ice cream.
It was fine, but there was also like the Lotta knockoff who
Right.
Oh,
she was like Lotta's
true.
apprentice or something like that, but she
Right.
was just straight up just budget Lotta, and I was like, come on.
Also, that president guy, he's in like an inflatable suit or something.
Or
It's
something.
awful.
Yeah.
I don't think I finished
The
that
second
case,
one
it
is
was
not
fun.
good either. Second one's not good either. It's like in a jail. It introduces Shields, which seems like a cool character.
Oh, I like him. Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
But that's it. That's
He
all I
is-
got. That's all I got for 2. Is like other than that,
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Well, we'll all find out if 3, 4, and 5 live up to it
Yeah.
in the next couple months, maybe.
They gotta be really good to carry that game.
Totally.
I'll say that.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're moving on to I think the last game we're going to talk about tonight, which is the Great Ace Attorney, which we played the English patch by Scarlet Study. Those heroes, Daigakuten Saibon 1. Really amazing game for me. And by the way, I think it bears mentioning. And if it feels like I'm biased personally, or that any of us are biased toward the Shutakami games, I mean,
We are.
maybe they're better on the whole. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. But I think they definitely feel more grounded in not in reality, because it's all very wacky, but they don't go into like caricature territory.
They're more
It
consistent.
feels like.
Yeah, it's their own reality. It is larger than life, but it is not absurdist.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
I think Great Ace Attorney for me, kind of going through not a very traditional, I'll tell it was a very weird Ace Attorney journey, but it was definitely like, it's not really a return to form, honestly, because it's so new and fresh in a lot of ways. Like, there's a lot of new mechanics, it's a very different setting, the musical style is befitting of the era, but it's not the same as the regular series, but it's still amazing music, really fantastic stuff, even like the initial like courtroom opening theme with like this grand sweeping like dum dum dum, like a big, it's awesome. And then you got freaking Ryunosuke, who I love him. I love the idea of this guy is the first time in the series. He's not even a lawyer. Didn't even have training, and it shows because he's like looking back and forth. He's like hold it, and he's got like the little weak desk slap. It's
The weak
so good.
that's
the
just
best.
so good.
But that makes it so satisfying in the first case when he nails the desk slam for the first time.
Yeah.
It's really, really good stuff. I love Ryunosuke.
I feel very parental
Right.
towards Ryunosuke.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, with Great Ace Attorney, the thing I can say about it is, I was in denial for a pretty long time, but it's my favorite game. I think it probably has the best soundtrack. All of the tracks are really good.
It's got an amazing soundtrack.
I love Holmes' theme.
Yes.
I love Telling the Truth theme. I love the General Court theme.
Yes.
Oh god, it's so good.
And I want to say really quickly, one of the things I really like about it, you just mentioned Holmes really quickly, is that I'm thinking Case 2 introduces the dual deductions, which those are to me a much better version of the logic system from Ace Attorney Investigations.
Definitely.
In terms of like piecing facts together and
Yep.
making it all line up. But then Case 2 is really a standout to me because Great Ace Attorney is very willing to do things different than the rest of the series.
Yes.
The second case doesn't have a trial. It's all investigation, and you do logic stuff like that, but I really enjoyed the kind of freshness of that. It's good stuff.
I think people don't like it because it doesn't have a trial.
Okay.
And I would say that I don't think it's weak, but I would say it's probably the weakest case.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
But in general, I was just, again, for me the freshness
it's
really
great.
went a long way. It went a long way.
Yeah, it really is willing to break the formula in favor of telling a different kind of story.
Totally.
Which it tells quite well.
We should probably go one by one here because they're all really good.
They
It's true.
are.
It's true. I think we have kind of gone in order. We talked a little bit about 1. We're on 2.
Yeah.
But
Well, we have Asogi, who is great.
Oh,
Roger,
fuck
go.
that. You know what? They did it. They did me dirty twice. So when I was playing this, I was like, dude, he's so cool. I remember messaging you like, dude, he's so
Yes,
fucking
and I was
cool.
just like,
I love.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys laughed at me. And then in the second case, he's dead, and it's just like I guess he's Mia Fey's supreme ancestor.
true.
I don't fucking
They got
know.
us
Like,
again.
there you go.
Yep. It's rough.
Dude, they did me dirt. Well, in the first case, the reason why I really like the first case is the things that Danny said, where it's like, he's not a lawyer. So, like, of
Yeah.
course he's stumbling and barely finding his way through. And for most of the game, like, he's studying law, but he's a student. He is not a lawyer. He's just allowed to stand in court.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's figuring it out as he goes.
Yep.
Yeah. I would say, okay, so 1-1 is great because the thing I like about 1-1 is that it's, to me, even to this day, I still don't know why she killed that guy. I know she's an assassin.
Okay, now I
Yes.
think that's going to be addressed in the second game.
I can confirm
Okay,
that.
probably.
And now that I don't know any specifics about the second game.
I think
but-
I've forgotten the spoiler that I knew, which is great.
Good, good.
But I do know that comes back, which is wonderful.
And,
Okay.
and you know, she's interesting, and I like the pun on her name, Giselle Brett.
Yeah,
because
bullet.
because John
Giselle
Watson in
Bullet.
the war in Sherlock Holmes was shot with a Giselle
Yep.
bullet.
Yep.
That's really good. Yeah. Okay. So DGS
Number 2.
DGS 2. I'll say this right now. It introduces the two big reasons to love this game, which is Holmes and Susato.
Yes.
And Susato is my personal favorite assistant in the series. I'm not saying she's better. I'm not making an argument or anything like that. The Maya or Trucy, whatever. I love all of them. I really do.
They're all great.
But Susato just like won me so over. She's so like sweet and like straightforward and earnest, but also she'll freaking suplex you and she'll throw you over and
Well, and she has her like incredibly detailed notes of
Yes.
law and everything. Like she wants so badly to be able to
Yes.
study law or practice law.
and she plays a great role in the game because Ryunosuke can't do crap, but a woman in that time is not allowed to stand in court.
Yeah.
So she is wholly the reason that he's able to get through anything
Yeah.
for the entirety of the game after case 1, because Asogi obviously helps him at first. But yeah, I mean, she's the reason Ryunosuke can do everything, and so I think that connection they build, that they foster together, that's what got me so invested in her throughout the
Definitely.
game. But I just love Suzuto. I think in DGS2, I was actually a little annoyed at her at first because she's like, "You suck. I'm gonna keep throwing you over like all the time." And
Right.
like, what's this? A judo throw?
Yeah.
Susato throw.
Yeah.
Yeah. She does keep doing that.
Stop hurting me, Suzuto. But she gets better.
Yeah.
She gets there. Yeah, I mean, Holmes is, dare I say, my favorite character in the whole fucking game.
Oh,
I mean, he's so good.
He's fun.
He's fun.
Okay, so I don't know what the second game is gonna hold as far as like what happens with like continuing character plot lines and everything. I made a hard read in the very beginning of like Greatest Eternity, and I still think it's true. I think Holmes like he's purposely fucking it up when he like does the deductions with Ryunosuke.
Fascinating.
I wonder.
Because I feel like Holmes, because he gets most of it right. He just makes this logical leap that makes no sense.
He'll always
And
do
it's
like this crazy outcome. Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll be like, look, your dresser's broken. Clearly, you have a lion in here, and it's like, no.
It's so true.
So I'm just sitting here like he's purposely doing this. Like he's doing this because he wants to do the deduction thing with Ryunosuke and have him like come in and be like big man. I don't know.
Could be.
Anyway,
I just
I
realized
love Holmes.
he's basically Howl
Oh, like from House
From
Moving
Howl's
Castle?
Moving Castle.
He's very similar.
down to like having
he is,
his like
isn't he?
moody spells.
Yes. Being the kind of like the idiot savant
Yeah,
sort of thing.
and I
too.
mean that is the highest compliment. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I love Holmes very much.
Yeah, Holmes is really, really great. And for me, as Holmes in this game, as an old school Sherlock Holmes fan, he's actually one of my favorite adaptations of the character. As someone who is flawed and deeply eccentric, rather than just like brilliant and always perfect.
And
which
a
is-
jerk.
And a jerk. Yeah, I think that's the perception people have of Holmes.
Yeah.
Is that he's like cold, calculating, always perfect. But the books paint him as a dude who like fucking puts opium in himself all the time because his brain
has
is
a lot
just
of
going
vices.
too fast. Like that has all these vices and flaws and everything. And so I love this like, yeah, he's this kind of dopey melodramatic dude who will just reach these outlandish conclusions and then still be brilliant, but you
Yeah.
have to like rein him in as Ryunosuke.
It's like hardcore neurodivergent.
Yes, definitely. So I always really enjoyed that. And two is a very good introduction to Holmes and the dual deduction mechanic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
So let's move right into DGS 3.
is
yes.
The best third case, bar none, not even close.
I think easily. I
Yeah.
think easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it is a really strong case, and that's the first time we can say that definitively about a case 3.
Absolutely.
But yeah, maybe 6-3. 6-3 was pretty good, I think.
This thing's fine. It
fine.
doesn't hold a candle.
It doesn't hold a candle. You're absolutely right. But yeah, it brings back what worked about 2-4, where you're defending this dude, and at some point you're like, oh dang,
Yeah.
this guy totally
He did
it.
it.
Yeah.
And you have to figure that out, and you can't. You actually can't escape getting a not guilty verdict. It's funny because
Yeah.
the case feels so stacked against you, and Baroque von Zieks has this like ironclad case, good old, and the introduction of Baroque von Zieks.
Yeah, Baroque von Zieks and
Yeah.
his potentially the most ridiculous part of the game, which is his leg desk slam.
Yes.
Oh yeah, or when he throws the wine into the fucking like the lamp.
Yeah.
All like he does that like 5 times. Well, he does it like 2 or 3 times in one case, and I'm just like, dude, not only are you breaking the glass, but that lamp should not be around
Yeah.
anymore. Like that shit is done.
I would counter that the most ridiculous part of the game is Asogi wielding a sword and cord.
Well, I can't call
In
it a
Meiji
precedent
era Japan.
because Blackwell is later.
Oh,
But there is
yeah.
a series precedent
It's true.
for a convicted murderer having a sword in court.
And like he breaks his shackles too.
And they're just like, that's fine. Just keep
It's
doing
true.
your thing, Prosecutor Blackwell.
It's
Anyway,
true.
we're not
and
talking about that.
And you know, it's fair. You're fair, Roger. Asogi was in old school Japan.
It's true.
And we unfortunately did not get to see him. See if he was going to try and pull a sword,
Out
into
in
English
England,
court.
yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how that would have gone down.
Well, to be fair, Ryunosuke takes his sword and holds it in court.
Oh, does he?
That's true.
He doesn't pull it out
Yeah.
or anything, but
He doesn't pull it out. He never unsheaths it, but
Yeah.
it's there.
Yeah. You're right.
I know the game's out there. We're all unspoiled on it. I would love if at some point in Greatest Attorney 2, Ryunosuke pulled that sword on someone, like a I don't know, like a criminal running away or
That'd be cool.
something, or like
That'd be
he's
cool.
getting attacked or something, or he's
Yeah.
defending. I don't know.
It's a smoking gun. Like,
Yeah.
why did he get the sword?
Exactly. But yeah,
3.
DGS 3, really, really good case. Cosme Magundal's a really good defendant / culprit.
Yeah.
Really.
Oh, they changed his name, just so you know.
What's his name now? Do you know?
I don't know his first name, but his last name's McGilded.
McGilded?
McGilded, because he's rich.
McGilded, like money.
McGilded.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine with it because
No, it's funny.
Cosme McGundle was nothing.
It sounded like
Yeah.
a real name though.
Not to me.
Oh really?
It's like it's a play on Japan. A lot of the funny things are play on Japan stuff. So like
Yeah.
we have no, or Japanese stuff. I have no freaking idea what the hell they mean.
Yeah.
Sure, totally. Well, yeah, I mean, it's really solid overall. I remember having to get the not guilty verdict, and then McGundle or McGilded
Yeah.
just dies anyway. It's pretty
Yes, that was so interesting,
Pretty
and
shocking.
and again, sort
Oh,
of the
so
player
good.
feeling of like, do I feel good about this?
cool. And I mean, for me, I was kind of like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Ooh.
This is also the introduction of the jury, right?
Yes.
Oh yes.
Which is a
They
great
finally
mechanic.
brought back a jury.
Yeah.
We were talking about seances being the first mechanic since
Cyclops.
Cyclops that was really well implemented. Love the jury mechanic.
That
so
was
much.
really cool.
And for what it's worth,
Also multiple witnesses.
Yes, that
yes.
too, which was first in Phoenix Wright versus Professor Layton.
Oh wow.
Which we didn't talk about at all because I'm the only one that's played it.
Right.
And I didn't beat it. I got to the final case. It's a good game. It's a fun game. If you like Phoenix and Maya and you like Professor Layton, you will probably have a good time. I hated the final twist, and so I never beat it.
Which you feel that way about all the Layton games
Yes.
too, right?
I do not like
Yeah.
the way the Layton games handle their plots.
Right.
And it was very much the case in the Phoenix
So it was a
Wright
symptom
game.
of that.
Yes.
Totally.
So it was not for me.
Makes sense.
If you can handle that stuff, it's a good game.
Sure. But you're absolutely right. And retroactively talking about DGS 1, 2, and 3, every time that they use multiple witnesses, it's a really neat little twist on having someone on the witness stand.
Yeah.
And you can have one person have a contradiction, the other one doesn't, and the way they can play off each other. It's such like it seems like a simple change, but it makes sense that Shutakami was already playing around with it, because he also did Professor Layton versus Phoenix
I
Wright.
believe so, yeah.
So it's a really great way to just kind of bring a whole new depth to witness cross-examinations and stuff like that. I love that. And then the jury in DGS 3, even further, I love that you have to like pinpoint each one. You
Yeah.
have to like try and convince this person with certain evidence, and sometimes it can be a little annoying. It's like literally like the smallest thing will be said, and they'll go like, "Screw it, guilty."
In the
You know?
Yeah.
in the fifth case, I remember. So we're not to it yet, but I'll just say this as like a preamble. It's hard to figure out some of the shit in the fifth case.
Yeah.
Because like you need to be watching everything real. I'll say it later in the fifth.
Sure.
case, but yeah.
Well, okay. Well, I mean, we can get there pretty soon, because I don't think any of us have a super strong feeling about DGS 4, other than
It's good.
It's good. And
Yeah.
and Sosuke was kind of cool. Or
Yeah.
Natsume or whatever. his name
I
is.
don't remember that one very well. When does Gina show
Soseki.
Gina. Oh yeah, Soseki. Who is Gina?
up? Gina.
Gina's in the third case.
She's in the third case.
Lestrade.
I love her. She's the little like street urchin. She's blonde.
Right.
and
She was
Danny.
a great character.
She's a play on an Inspector.
Yes,
Yeah.
Lestrade. I remember Gina.
Yeah, Gina Lestrade.
And
Yep.
because they play with that, I think in the epilogue of the game,
Yes.
that she's like looking into becoming a detective, an inspector.
Yep.
So
Yes.
I loved her. She was a great character, and I think she's like the defendant in the fifth case. I don't remember super well.
She is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's excellent.
She's she was one of the better parts too. So yeah, DGS 4, we all liked it.
Yeah.
I thought Pat and Patrola,
Oh, right.
they were cute, except for the fact that she like strangled him constantly.
Yeah, that wasn't great,
Yeah.
but they had cute, like, interesting animations.
Yeah. Those
They were hella cute.
they
I
were
will
cute.
give
We
them.
can all agree.
Yeah.
Cute, but it's not cute to hurt your partner.
Not at all.
But other than that,
Say no to strangling.
please don't do
Please.
that. DGS 5. Yeah, I love DGS 5.
This one rules.
It's really, really good. We talked about Gina. She's your defendant. That's really good. What you thinking, Sarah?
I don't remember this case.
Oh, DGS 5. Egg Benedict. You got Egg
Yes.
Egg Benedict.
Okay, Egg Benedict.
Yeah.
What is the? Who's dead?
Who's dead?
Oh, the pawn shop one.
Oh,
Right,
yeah. Oh, okay. It's okay. It's all
There's the
coming
pawn
back
shop.
to me now.
Suzato messes with the crime scene.
Right.
Yes, she fucks it up.
Yep.
Mhm.
Right.
You have, like, the thing
And
that,
she's like, I don't deserve to call myself a legal assistant.
Aw.
But she does, in that little scene where she goes home and Ryunosuke and she just have that tender moment, and he literally, I think it says like something along the lines of like, I would never been able to do anything
Yeah.
without.
He said she's the best.
Yes,
legal
she
assistant.
do the best
She
legal
is.
assistant in the world, something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I remember
Love it.
like the character stuff from that case. I don't remember the case specifics themselves. Oh, it had the whole like stereoscopic
Oh.
imagery
Oh
thing.
yeah, that shit was kind of silly.
Yeah,
and then,
yeah.
well, They move past it at some point. They move past it with like the Morse code stuff, which is pretty interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Now, really quickly, the stereoscopic imagery thing was probably fine on 3DS, but because I just remember on the
Oh, yeah, we didn't play it
all
on
played it
3DS.
on an Android,
Right, yeah.
And so on Android tablet, you're just kind of like, okay, whatever, stereoscopic, and they're like, do you want me to fucking cross my eyes or something?
Yeah, I'd rather not.
And I'm not going to. But then on the 3DS, I imagine you literally could just put the
turn
slider
the 3D
up.
on, yeah.
So that probably made a little bit more sense there.
That's a good point.
What did they do with the Morse code?
Wait, what they do with what?
I was just asking, what specifically did they do with the Morse code? I remember it was kind of a big part at the end.
Oh, so the whole thing in the case is that you get to a point where it's like, why did this guy die?
Uh,
Yeah.
And like, why did Egg Benedict kill him? It's
Right.
because Mick Gilded, I guess.
Freaking Gilded.
He was stealing government secrets.
right.
Right.
And he had the guy put it on 2 different discs, and they would play Morse code when you play both of them at the same time. And
Oh, yeah.
there's like a telegrapher in the jury, and she's like, "That's Morse code."
Right.
Yeah.
And blah blah blah. And then the reason why, okay, so I said before, Case 5 is actually kind of really fucking hard to follow, is because there's like this really insane moment where you have to. So at some point, Inspector Gregson and Egg Benedict are talking. And you have to be like, why are you guys talking? And it's like, it's fine, whatever. And it didn't mean anything. And you're like, okay. And then
Right.
like an hour later, or like 20 minutes later, he starts shaking one of the like shady Mario Bros that are.
Yes,
Yeah.
I remember this too.
He starts shaking him, and you're just kind of like, what do you do? He's like, oh, I just lost my control. Sorry. Why didn't you tell me about the third gun? And then you're sitting there, and you're like, okay, that didn't mean anything either, I guess. And then you have to like. Not only do you have to do complicated stuff with the jury, but I'm not going to get into it because it's long. But at some point, you have to say, okay, I know where the second disc is, because one of the main points is like, where is the second disc? Because this is the way you win the trial. And you go to what's his face? You say, okay, obviously Inspector Gregson had it because they traded it at some point.
Yeah.
So, and then you have to be like, it's like, okay, so you want to search Inspector Gregson? It's like, no, I want to search the Mario Bro because he put it in his pocket.
Right.
And I'm
I
just,
remember that.
and I'm like, I remember playing it. I was like, damn, this shit's hard.
Yeah, it is.
And there's like that, and then like, the reason why Susato had to do the thing with like messing with the crime scene and making the flap door
Yeah.
is because Egg Benedict it wasn't there when he killed him.
Right.
And he knows about it, and you have to like figure out why does he know about it and all this other
Yeah.
stuff. And he knows about it because Inspector Gregson told him because he gave him the disc.
Right.
Right.
Wow.
It's insane.
It
That
is- it
trial
is
is really
insane.
good.
Yeah.
And by the way, I love that. I know his name gets revealed, Egg Benedict, but who cares? His name
I don't
is Egg
care. His
Benedict.
name is Egg
Yeah.
Benedict,
'Cause
and I'm
that's-
gonna be so mad if they change that.
Oh, they gotta keep it for at least the first joke.
I don't even want it to be Eggs Benedict. I want it to be
Egg Benedict.
Egg
Yeah,
Benedict.
no, it's a brilliant name. I love it. It's really good.
But yeah, it's a really good case, and like the ending is super duper satisfying. I will say, the ending does. I know it's gonna get resolved in the second game, but it's interesting. If you played the first game and didn't know a second one was coming, at the very end, Iris Watson, or I guess Wilson in this case now, she's like, oh, that Morse code, because at the end of the trial, the telegraph lady is like, oh yeah, that Morse code is just like, it means nothing. It's jumbled. It doesn't mean anything.
Right.
And then Iris at the end of the game is like, oh, I was like doing calculations with like 50 million different kinds
Because
of
I'm a
Morse
freaking
codes.
genius.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's the Iro code, which is the Japanese Morse code, and then it's like a bunch of names, and the names that get put out there are Asogi, Inspector Gregson,
John Wilson, John Watson.
John Wilson, and we don't know who. It's like Sasha or something is the last one. I
Right.
have no
Yeah.
idea what that means.
But the fact that Asogi's
And so-
name is on there, it's like,
Asogi's
what's
name,
going on with
yeah.
that?
Yeah, and also Inspector Gregson.
Yes.
It's like, okay, yeah, I get it. He's an inspector and like he's working with the government, but why is he on a list with Asogi?
I look forward to seeing how the second game will pay that off.
Yeah.
I'm very curious.
I think the
curious
experience of
too.
playing them back to back is going to be really good.
Yes, because we're all.
Yeah.
I think we're all going to go through the new localization.
Yeah,
for
I think
sure.
I'm going to play
Yeah.
the first
Yep.
one again because I clearly don't
been
remember
nice.
it
Yeah, I
super
mean,
well.
and plus it's such a good game. It's so
Yeah.
fun, and the characters are so great. Yeah, and my biggest thing about, just to kind of cap off how I really feel, DGS 5, I loved it so much because I love Susato so much.
Yes.
And I just really, I was very emotionally drawn into it when she leaves. It's so heartfelt. I also enjoyed the kind of payoff for the stuff with Cosney, McGilded, whatever
Yeah,
his name.
yeah.
Because that was something in DGS3. I was like, where's that gonna go? So you do find out his machinations a little bit more. And I also really did enjoy the tying in the intrigue to the sequel, which we're finally gonna get to play. So that's very exciting.
Yes.
Any other thoughts you have,
So
Roger,
excited.
about DGS before we leave it there?
Let me think. Let's see. Well,
Sarah?
DGS is my favorite game, and I had to come to terms with that because it's a game I shouldn't have played, right? Like we played this as a fan translation because there was no indication that we ever.
We
gonna
thought
get
we
it.
never
It had
would.
been like
Yeah.
It had been like 5 to 6 years, and like they weren't gonna localize it, and it was very clear because it was like, okay, it's really Japanese. It's probably got a bunch of Japanese inside jokes.
Yeah.
It probably does to this day.
Yeah.
They're probably gonna have a lot of trouble with it, but I think they can kind of lean into it
Yeah.
because it's not in Japanfornia. You can just be like, this is in Japan now.
Yeah.
Definitely. So I look forward to the fact that they're at least trying, that they're gonna give us some way to read it. And I honestly, none of us ever cared about like, oh well, this is gonna be harder to make sense, whatever. We don't care. We just want to play it.
Yeah.
You know, like we'll take a retcon.
Yeah.
To make some of this stuff work. You know, like
Yeah,
the fact
absolutely.
that there's Japanifornia where Phoenix is from, but then there's Miyonosuke from Japan.
It's
or
not
whatever.
even hard.
Yeah, you
It's
can come up
not
with
even hard.
any number of headcanons to make it make sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, the thing was with Holmes, obviously.
Yes.
That was obviously
that
big
was
one.
the
Yeah,
problem.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I took some notes of some of just like my favorites throughout all this, and if I had to pick one of all of these,
I was gonna say we should each say our favorite game, our favorite case, and maybe our least favorite case.
okay, cool, let's
to
do
wrap
it.
it up.
Okay, I need a little bit of time. Do you have yours ready?
I think so.
Okay.
I
Go for
think
Sarah.
I can do
Go for
it.
it.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm basic because I'm old school, and my favorite game is still Trials and Trib, and my favorite case I think is still 3-5.
Nice,
Um,
nice.
Least favorite might actually be like a Dual Destinies case,
Like 3, maybe.
like maybe 3.
Yeah.
Just because even Turnabout Big Top, I like the characters in it, and I care about I care about them.
Yeah.
And what's going on there, and there's just so much about the world building in Dual Destinies 3 that just gets under my skin.
Totally.
But it's a toss-up. It's probably one of those two.
And then least favorite case. Did you already say it?
That was
Right. Gotcha. I'm sorry. What was it?
Right.
Say it again.
It's either 2-3 or 5-3.
Right, okay. I just had to like my brain had to go back through it. Thank you. I'll go next.
Okay.
Apollo Justice is my favorite game. It's so funny. None of the cases from Apollo Justice are my favorite case, I would say. But just the whole experience of playing it and like the characters really getting into Apollo and Clavier and all that stuff. I really love that. Favorite case? Looking through all these right now, I think I'm gonna give it to DGS3.
Ah.
Personally, I think that's the one that I just had the best time playing through in one sitting. Although it's tough, maybe because honestly, DGS3 might sound a little surprising because it's not 2-4, it's not 3-5 or anything.
Yeah.
I would say that those two are the best. DGS3 might be like just the one that I enjoyed the most
Yeah.
sitting down and playing through
Totally.
it, or DGS5. But yeah,
Right.
so I just listed like 4 cases, so I'm gonna go with DGS3.
My least favorite might actually be 2-1.
That's a
really
solid pick.
getting down
That's a
to
solid
it.
pick. Least favorite. And then my least favorite, again, not to be super basic, but I mean I think it has to be Turnabout Big Top.
Yeah.
Because it ruined my experience with Justice for All until I played the final case years
Yeah.
later. So that's a big one for me. And by the way, I'm gonna be real. DGS3 is what it feels right now. That answer's gonna change tomorrow and the day after. But
Totally.
that's what I got for right now. So Apollo Justice, DGS3, and the least favorite 2-3. Roger.
Okay, my favorite game is DGS,
Nice.
and I had to. This is an anonymous meeting, I know that, so I'm coming forward with the information.
Thank you for sharing.
Um,
Thank you for sharing.
Because as a known Trials and Tribulations lover, I have to unfortunately give it up. I would say my favorite case is still probably 3-5. I think it's still 3-5,
Solid.
even though I like. Because the thing is, the reason why DGS is my favorite game is because basically there's no case in it that I'm like I don't want to replay that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a case in every single game where I'm like, nope, because I could skip it.
Totally.
The thing with best cases though is it's interesting because like Danny said, I could probably flip, tomorrow. I
Yeah.
could probably think,
Yeah.
2-4 is really my favorite.
Yep,
I really
same.
liked 1-5 actually.
Yep.
Yeah.
DGS 5 is actually super.
Depends on the day.
Totally.
So I mean, if you want like a top 5, those are probably my top 5. Probably 4-4 is up there somewhere too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. Whatever. Anyway, least favorite case. Are we counting investigations?
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
If we're counting investigations, 2 or 3 in investigations is the worst case by far. I hate those
Sure.
fucking cases.
Give me an Ace Attorney
if we're
least
not
favorite
counting-
case, just for it. Yeah.
If we're not counting those, it's probably Turnabout Big Top.
Yep.
Because I
Fair.
cannot. 2-1 is honestly up there too, because it ruined me.
Yeah.
It nearly ruined Ace Attorney. It almost
Ruined me for
screwed up
Ace
this
Attorney.
whole thing.
I'm glad it didn't. I'm glad it wasn't enough to turn you off of the whole
Yeah,
series.
me too.
Well, thankfully, 12-year-old me had the presence of mind to be like, I shouldn't play this because I have no idea what the hell is happening. But you know,
Great.
it is what it is.
All right. Well, I think that just about wraps up our great our great Ace Attorney case discussions, and I think that's a pretty good way to leave it. I mean, there's a lot of amazing cases throughout the series. It's been fun to go throughout all of them again, and we are all so excited for the release of Daigaku Saiban 2 or Great Ace Attorney 2. If you listen to this, first of all, thanks. Thanks for
Yeah.
listening to us chat
You're
about
a
Ace Attorney this whole
hero.
time.
I don't know how you
Yeah.
got through this.
You're awesome. If you're listening, genuinely though, comment. Tell us what your favorite and least favorite cases are.
Yeah.
Are you the guy who likes Turnabout Big Top?
Tell
Do
us
you-
why.
Yeah, please tell us why. I want please.
Just so you know, Mo's my favorite character because he has some of the best jokes.
I
Hey,
do like Mo.
hey, if someone wants to bring that up, I want to hear it. But thanks,
True.
y'all, for chatting, and we will. I mean, reconvene at least by talking to each other once Daigaku Saiban 2 comes out and see if any of those cases
True.
also break into all of this. Well, we'll figure that out. then.
We might have an addendum to add at some point.
Yeah, might have to recalculate.
But other than that, I don't know how to finish this, so I'm just gonna say blur to boo, shbaba boo ba. You know?
And I agree.
Yeah. Well said.
Jackson.